2024's newest Suspenseful Mother's Intuition rocks. Hathaway and Jessica are two of the biggest movie stars in the world. Hathaway and Jessica share the stage in a wild, twisted and breathtaking display of motherly love. They used to be close neighbors, but one day, when Alice was pruning her garden, suddenly saw the neighbor's child standing on the edge of the fence to build a bird's nest. He kindly urged Max to go back, but the beau's playfulness made him forget everything. All Alice could do was run towards his house, shouting. The beau's mother was cleaning the house. The sound of the vacuum cleaner drowned out the cries for help. Alice broke into his house without a second thought. Without a word of warning, she ran upstairs. But by the time he got over the window and onto the balcony, it was too late. By the time Celine arrived downstairs, her son was already dead. And the relationship between the two friends changed forever. Because Celine didn't see how her son fell. She only saw Alice's back. Celine began to wail every month. Alice tried to comfort her many times, but every time, she was rejected. That day she saw Celine talking to her son. She subconsciously thought Celine was still unstable, so she forced her son to come back, but this action hurt Celine again. To everyone's surprise, at Max's funeral, Celine suddenly stared at Alice as if she was the cause of all this. After the funeral, Celine was suddenly a different person. He put on his old smile again. He even came to his son's school to attend the parent-teacher conference, but it was Alice's son, Theo, who was in his sights. When Theo got out of school the next day, Celine was waiting. She said she had a gift for the beau, although Alice initially wanted to refuse. But thinking about what happened to Celine, she agreed to the request. When Alice returned to the garden, she saw her son standing in the same spot. She broke out in a cold sweat. Iris climbed over the bushes to the other side of the garden, despite her cuts, and Celine happened to be there. When Iris yelled at her, Celine just said they were playing. Then she sent the kids home. When Alice returned home, she felt that Celine was testing her. Her husband advised her not to be paranoid, but a woman's intuition is terrible. From that day on, Alice began to be on the lookout for Celine. But in the blink of an eye, little Theo had an accident. He's been allergic to peanuts since he was a child. But Celine had prepared a box of peanut cookies. When the beau was taken to the emergency room, Celine came with him. Alice finally couldn't take it anymore and exploded. From this moment on, their friendship was gone. Her husband dragged Alice to the next room. She finally revealed all her suspicions. It was Celine who tricked her son into the kitchen, and she knew Theo was allergic to peanuts. She bought a box of peanut cookies. Alice felt that Celine was the only one who could be held responsible for all this. The husband thought his wife was crazy. Until now, the mystery was getting more and more complicated. Is it Celine's revenge, or is Alice really crazy? Who is the worst of the two women?